Turkey masses troops near Kurdish-held Syrian town.
Here's a summary of the article.
Shares. A Syrian war monitor and Turkish media say Turkey is massing troops near a town in northern Syria held by a US-backed and Kurdish-led force. Turkey said it would delay a promised offensive in Syria following US President Donald Trump's decision to withdraw US troops. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan has vowed to dislodge the Kurdish fighters, who Turkey views as an extension of the insurgency within its borders. The US had partnered with the Syrian Kurdish militia to drive out the Islamic State group. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said the reinforcements were sent to the front line with Manbij, where US troops have been based. The Turkish IHA news agency reported Sunday that a convoy of Turkish troops had been sent into Syria overnight.
This post received a score of 2,611, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Turkey got what it wanted with the US withdrawal from Syria, free rein across the border. I guess, in return, we won't be hearing much more from them about Khashoggi. Yep, and as a result we won't hear that Kushner okayed his murder. I wouldn't speculate, but I also wouldn't be surprised.
This will be a message to the rest of the world: the US will betray you. The US will use you. Don't ever ally with the US.
We did the same with the Montagnards in Vietnam, and even did something similar when George Bush told Iraqis to rebel against Saddam, and we did nothing to help them.
We abandoned the Kurds after the first Desert Storm. This will be the, at least, third time we've majorly fucked them over.
Really, who knows how to fix the region? Blowing things up and murdering everyone doesn't seem to be working well.
Seems to be working for the oil companies and defense contractors, or at least their controlling boards. Well, this comment section has devolved into an abortion.
You expected differently?
The town in question is Manbij, which majorly an Arab town whose citizens have been protesting the Kurdish administration. It's also the only city they control that is on the western side of the Euphrates.
Dang, this region is complicated. And the news is not helping. Do you support our withdrawal?
Turkey has been massing troops since forever to attack the SDF. The reason this became news now is because it makes the US decision looks bad, and everybody's been shitting on it anyway. The US forces are still in Manbij and haven't left yet. Manbij was always a special case. Joint US and Turkey forces are always patrolling the city to make sure no presence of the YPG is there, as per the two countries' agreements. And yes, as a Syrian, I definitely support the withdrawal of any uninvited foreign force.
Let's have a frank assessment of what's happening. The US is abandoning the Kurds to build up Turkey as the new security guarantor in the Levant. The Iranians functionally control most of Iraq, and have a vassal via Assad in Syria. The US cannot allow Iran to consolidate its sphere of influence so that it provides a port to the Mediterranean. If the US cannot rely on the Saudis to counter Iran for political, moral reasons, the Turks are the lesser of two evils.
Is there anything the US can do to help the Kurds without harming our relationship with Turkey?
The Turks consider Kurdish autonomy to be a direct threat to their national sovereignty, as even an Iraqi Kurdish state would offer Kurds in Turkey a reason to demand autonomy or independence for themselves. It's unlikely you could get away with offering the Kurds living in Turkey a one-way free travel opportunity to Syrian and Iraqi Kurdistan. Even if a few million people take the Turks up on that opportunity, it would present an enormous border security challenge, and you'd still end up with the majority of Kurds in Turkey preferring to demand sovereignty over their own lands rather than leave for northern Iraq. Autonomous regions don't work when they're also border regions close to a rival power, so that's out. At best, the US can insist on a status quo in which Iraqi and Syrian Kurdistan govern themselves, but aren't actually recognized as independent states.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by SMMRY.com, without any human intervention.